Hello there everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a little book haul, which is very different from me. All of the hauls that I've done so far have been fashion related, but if you watch my previous videos or you know me in real life, then you will probably know that one of my passions in life is reading. If not, and you're new here, then hello, my name's Tanya and I like to read, so I thought I would do a cheeky little book haul. Wow, when I say little, it's actually quite big, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't really know what I anticipate this video to be like, but I think I'll just talk you through what I've picked up, maybe why I've picked it up. We can read the blurb together and hopefully have a little discussion down in the comments. If you've read these books, you can let me know what you think, and yeah, we can get a little conversation going because I don't really have many people that I can talk about. Sorry, cheeky little interruption from Sky News. I don't really have many people I can talk about books with. I've got a few friends that read a fair bit, but not everyone's into the same sort of topics as me, so it'd be really nice if we can get a little discussion going down below. But without any further ado, let's just get straight into the video. Now, I've been feeling really uninspired with my reading recently, and it's honestly been months since I picked up a book. So the reason I've bought all of these is to try and give myself a bit of motivation to read. I keep finding myself looking in the bookcase, looking at the books and thinking, I don't really fancy any of them, none of them are jumping out at me, and I think it's because I was very limited to like 2 topics left out of the books that I hadn't read. So I've picked up a really good variety of books here, and the first one I'm going to show you isn't looking too hot to try anymore, to be honest. It has been in my bag, and it's by Chanel Miller and it's called Know My Name. Now, this is a true story. Chanel Miller is a Stanford sexual assault survivor, and you probably saw it in the news. It was with Brock Turner. He was an athlete. I think she was visiting the university, and wow, you can assume I'm not going to go into too much detail about the ones that are slightly more graphic because, yeah, just because. But so far I'm on chapter 5 of this, just about to start chapter 5, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm learning a lot more about the court case and the progression leading up to court, things like that. Some things that I didn't actually know, which if you don't know me, then some of the topics that I do like reading are like sexual assault, serial killer, psychology, medical, Auschwitz, things like that. So they are quite graphic and I do have quite a bit of knowledge on that, but this is actually teaching me some things I didn't know and I'm really enjoying it. So if this is your cup of tea, I understand it's probably not everyone's, and I do get a lot more light-hearted as we go along. If this is your cup of tea, I would highly recommend. It's really well written and I'm finding it quite empowering as well, and it's also not too graphic in comparison to other books that I have read like this. So yeah, definitely recommend that one. Now, the next one is one that I have seen absolutely everywhere, and I should probably take it out with the deal that I bought and tell you guys about this deal because honestly the prices here are incredible. Now, I absolutely love the works and I always have. It's a bookshop but also sells other stuff, and it's just not as pricey as WH Smith. And I was told on the Girls Who Graduate book club that I'm part of on Facebook, which if you are a girl who has graduated, or even if you haven't, and you want to be part of a book club where you can share recommendations, get ideas, have discussions, I would really recommend that. Sounds quite geeky, but you know, that's me sometimes. And anyway, they were telling me on there that the works have a 3 for £5 deal on, is it non-fiction books that aren't true? Or fiction, whatever ones aren't true, they've got a deal on that for 3 for £5, and they have some really popular books. So the first one that I picked up is Blood Orange, and I don't typically go for books that aren't true, but like I said, I'm feeling quite uninspired by my bookshelf and figured I could switch it up a little bit. I can't really remember what this is about, to be honest. The front cover, as you've probably just seen, says a damaged marriage, a toxic affair and a dark obsession. Oh, so it's some sort of murder thriller, I think. Alison has it all, a loving family and a career on the rise. She's just been given her first murder case to defend, but all is not as it seems. So a bit of a thriller there, quite excited. It's the sort of book that I'd read if it was true. So let's see, you know, what it's like reading a story, if you like. I'm quite excited to give that a go and see what I think. And as I said, this was on a 3 for £5 deal, so I think this literally worked out at like £1.33 a book. No, that's my maths being absolutely terrible. I don't know, but it's cheap per book. Anyway, the next one I picked up was The Beekeeper of Aleppo. Again, a really, really big name recently, and this was like £1 something. Honestly, I am shocked to the core about this, and I know what this is about. It's kind of similar to like Auschwitz, war, those types of books. However, I think it's slightly different. Oh, so it's a beekeeper and his wife, who's an artist, escaping the Syrian city of Aleppo. I won't read all of the blurbs because that just seems a little bit wasteful, but you get the general gist of that. I'm really excited to read this. I think that it might be my next one on the list after I finished Know My Name. So if you've read this, let me know your thoughts, but also wait until the end and recommend what I should read first, because I do kind of need help choosing now that there's so much to read and so many different topics to choose from. But I am really excited about that one. And then the last one that I picked up on that 3 for £5 deal is, again, really not something that I would ever read, but it's called The Catch by T.M. Logan. And I'm not gonna lie, this was kind of just one that I picked up that wasn't on my list but made the 3 for £5 deal. It was cheaper to do that than anything else. And I just think I briefly read it on the website and thought, oh, you know, that sounds good. And it's also quite a big name as well. I've seen a lot of people read this. So I thought I'd give it a go. So on the back it says, he caught me watching and our eyes met. That was when it hit me. There was something not quite right about my daughter's new boyfriend. Ed finally meets his daughter's boyfriend for the first time. Smart, successful and handsome. Ryan appears to be a real catch. Then Abby announces their plan to get married. There is just one problem. Ed thinks Ryan is lying to them. His instinct tells him that his daughter is in terrible danger, but no one else can see it. Oh, see, it sounds good, and I don't know why I never pick these books up. I just always go for true crime, but that sounds just as exciting, and the fact that it's like a fake story might be a little bit more captivating rather than just reading stone cold hard facts, because I feel like that might be what I'm a little bit sick of, just reading factual information, whereas this might be a little bit more captivating. I don't know, let me know what you think. Do you guys read true stories or stories that aren't true? I really can't remember what way around that goes. It's terrible. I'm filming a book video. You'd think I would have checked, but I honestly haven't. But let me know what you prefer, because I might actually be switching it up, I'm not gonna lie. So that was everything I got from the works 3 for £5 deal. Everything else I either got from the works and just paid full price for it, or I got it off Amazon. So this next one is one of the ones that I picked up off Amazon, and I was so shocked when this got delivered. Honestly, shocked. I was reading about this on the Girls Who Graduate book club. Again, it's so good for recommendations, so good. And I do think, I can't really remember what this is about, but I just remember it being massive and people were saying it is quite graphic. So again, I'll put out a little disclaimer here. If you don't like depictions of abuse, or I think, then probably skip ahead a little bit. But this is called A Little Life. You can see it here. I probably will leave links to these books all down below in the description box, so if you are interested in picking any of them up, then you can. And this, on the blurb, it's just reviews on the back, but I do think that this is about a story of abuse. And I'm sorry, but this was £6 I think on Amazon. Look at the size of that. There's like over 700 pages in here. I will obviously let you guys know as I'm reading bits in vlogs and things like that. So if you do want to know what I'm reading, how I'm finding it, then do subscribe down below, because I do give little updates in my weekly vlogs. But yeah, I'll have to let you know how I get on with it. Again, let me know down below if you've read this, but please be careful if you do with your comments, because I know that this book is quite graphic. The next book that I picked up is one that I'm really excited about, and also one that, to be honest, I don't know too much about, but I know that it's really big, and it's Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. the names. I literally butcher everybody's names. It's honestly terrible. And from what I understand, it's different stories of different women. I don't know if it's separated chapter by chapter and each chapter is a story of someone else, but it's supposed to be very feminist, very empowering, and I'm really excited to read something like that because, as you can see from some of my previous books that I've picked up, I do go into some like dark graphic books, and it's nice to read something that's a little bit more uplifting in between those sorts of ones. The next book, and to be honest, I'm kind of whizzing through these, there's not that many left. This is In Order to Live by Yeonomi Park. Why am I struggling in pronouncing the word park? Oh, honestly. It's been a long day, and this is about a North Korean defector, I think, escaping. Excuse me if I don't have the correct terminology. I don't know too much about this, I'm not gonna lie, but the one good thing about reading all these different books is that you can educate yourself. And I did read another book that was quite similar to this, I think. What was it called? I think it was called Kim Jong-un. 1982, born 1982. I listened to it on Audible, I didn't read it, and it was quite a while ago, but I really enjoyed it, and it was great to see how different people from different cultures live and how topics, well, in that book in particular, they explored lots of different topics like mental health, being a woman, things like that, how that was done over there in comparison to here. And as a woman myself, it's really interesting to compare my sort of life and my experiences and those of people around me to people who have lived completely different lives in completely different countries that I've never experienced the cultures of. But really excited to read this and again gain a little bit more of an insight into what life in this part of the world is like. It's always good to educate yourself, and well, if you haven't guessed, this is true. I don't know if I made that clear. The next book that I picked up, there is only 4 left including this one, so hang on, bear with, because these are also so interesting, is Where the Crawdads Sing, which I am so late to this party, I know, really late, and I don't think you need me to describe this to you at all. Quite excited to give that a read. I know that it's got amazing reviews, and I don't think I've heard many people say that they don't like this book, so I am quite excited to pick that up, but do think it's going to be a while before I pick that up because some of the other ones that I've been through already I'm really excited to read. Now the next one, this is so up my street. If you're new here, you won't know that I'm actually a psychology student. I'm studying applied psychology at Coventry University, and I'm interested in going into mental health, clinical psych, counselling psych, that sort of area. Very broad, I know, but I am interested in that area now. However, when I was in 6th form and I first started getting into psychology, as I mentioned, I love serial killers and learning all about that sort of stuff, and I wanted to do forensic psychology to begin with. And this book, called The Dark Side of the Mind, written by Kerry, is true stories from her life as a forensic psychologist. And I've read quite similar books to this before, but never ones actually written from a forensic psychologist. It's just ones that have been quite prison based, like The Prison Doctor, things like that. So I'm quite excited to give this a read because it has been a while since I've read any true crime. So yeah, I'll give this a go, let you guys know what I think, but it is very up my street, so I don't see any reason why I wouldn't enjoy this. The next one that I picked up is The Switch by Beth O'Leary, and the reason I've bought this and not The Flat Share, because I understand that this is kind of viewed as a sequel to The Flat Share, but from what I've read, because I've read the blurbs online, they're not actually directly linked, they're just quite similar. And when I read the back of this, I thought it was a bit more interesting to me than The Flat Share. After blubbing a big presentation at work, Lena takes a 2-month sabbatical and escapes to her grandmother Eileen's house for some overdue rest. Eileen is newly single and about to turn 80, my girl. She'd like a second chance at love, but her tiny Yorkshire village doesn't offer many eligible gentlemen. A life swap seems the perfect solution. But with a rabble of unruly OAPs to contend with, as well as a distractingly handsome local school teacher, Lena learns that switching lives isn't straightforward. In London, Eileen is a huge hit with her new neighbours and with the online dating scene, but is her perfect match nearer to home than she first thought. I just love that this grandma is out dating at 80 years old. Like, yes girl, go and live your best life. If I enjoy this, then I'm sure I can go back and read The Flat Share and it will make perfect sense, I'm sure. If not, then do let me know if I've made a mistake here, because I can buy the flat share and read that before this. I just thought that this one seemed a little bit more interesting to me and up my street than the flat share, so I picked that up as well. And then last but not least, it brings me on to the very last book, which again is one that I'm very, very late to the party to, and I just kind of revealed it there. But it's The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And if you've been watching previous videos of mine for a while, or if you follow my Goodreads, which if you do, I am so sorry that has not been updated in probably about a year. I've read books since the last ones that I put on there. I just haven't updated it, so maybe that's something I can sort out this evening, being as I'm posting this video soon, because I really want to get back into it. I love posting on Goodreads and I always rely on their reviews when I'm buying books. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm very late to the party on this one, and if you've been following me for a while, or if not, basically I haven't enjoyed Matt Haig's books. I've read the two big ones, what are they called? Notes on a Nervous Planet, and what's the other one? Reasons to Stay Alive. I read them the other way round and I just didn't fall in love with them. I didn't really get the hype, but people have told me that maybe that's because it wasn't the right time for me to read them. So maybe at another point in my life I'll go back and I'll read those books again, but they didn't click with me, and I didn't really like feel drawn to the book. It took me quite a long time to read them, so I didn't think I'd be reading another one of Matt Haig's books anytime soon. But apparently this is very, very different. Nora's life has been going from bad to worse. Then at the stroke of midnight on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to a library. There she is given the chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived, which raises the ultimate question: with infinite choices, what is the best way to live? So it's not true. Please someone inform me down below. Is that fiction or is that non-fiction? I honestly need to know. I'm quite excited to read it because I've heard really good things, and his other books obviously didn't captivate me, but this is very different, so I'm going to give it a go because I know how popular this is and I know how popular Matt Haig is, and I really want to jump on the hype, because why not? I want to have things to discuss with my friends that are all things books, so why not give this a go? Anyway, that was my last book out of the haul. Look at this massive pile that I have here. I feel like a proud little parent with all of my new books. I'm so excited about it. As I said, once I've finished, what am I reading now? Know My Name, please let me know what one you would actually pick up next. And of course the sun is now starting to come back out as I finished filming the video, how typical. But yeah, let me know which one I should read next after I finish Know My Name. I am leaning towards The Beekeeper of Aleppo, but also Girl, Woman and Other is kind of looking at me going, oh, pick me, pick me. So do let me know down below what you think, and also let me know what books of these that you've read and what are your opinions and what are your reviews, but please with no spoilers. I don't know how easy that is to do, but please don't spoil it too much, but just let me know your thoughts, because I'd be really interested, and it might actually affect which one I pick next, and now I can't see. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you've come from the Girls Who Graduate Book Club, hello, thank you for all of your lovely recommendations, and other than that I look forward to seeing you all very soon in the next video. Goodbye.